So I've moved to Tenerife for a month, which is kind of a weird thing to do. So I'm gonna talk you through what I'm doing here, why I've decided to do this. Why don't we start off with a tour of the apartment? So this is a rented apartment. I'm gonna be here for 4 whole weeks. It's pretty much a studio. I've got my bed here in the background. Here's my bed, the wardrobe, full of my summer clothes. The seating area, God, I love it over here. Look at that view. That's where I work in the mornings and have my breakfast and all of that. The kitchen, just refilled my water bottle, got a washing machine, fridge, and the bathroom. Hey, pretty compact, but it's pretty perfect too. If I could afford something even this size in London, I'd be so gassed. I just think it's pretty good here for solo living. So yeah, this is where I'm calling home. Obviously there is the sea right there, but we also have a pool in this little apartment complex. Yeah, it's gorgeous, I love it. Yeah, this holiday is a bit of a detox for me. Mostly just working and tanning. So why am I out here in Tenerife? Very good question. There are definitely multiple reasons I decided to book this holiday. One of the elements of it is work. I find that in London, there's just always things to do, many distractions. Sometimes that's a new thing that I want to go discover and try it out. Other times it's, like living in a shared household and getting excited by hanging out with my housemates, or the postman ring the doorbell, or a parcel arriving. Just stuck there are just constant distractions. And there are just a few things I want to work on without distractions distracting me. So some of my priorities whilst I'm out here is writing an ebook, figuring out my YouTube strategy and also my podcast strategy for the year, and I've figured those out, so that's good. I know what content's what, and that's just that's just been so nice to figure out. It's just taking so much time to reflect and just sit with myself and think, what am I doing? This is a job which hasn't existed long, and to try and figure out where I want to go and what my week should be looking like, sometimes you do just need to take a step away, breathe, and just figure it out. So I've got my priorities. They're all quite back-end priorities, I guess, right now. So it is just, working on the blog, put out a new newsletter. I'm really slow with those these days. Figured out my YouTube strategy, and figured out when I'm getting my podcast back and running, and trying to figure out other ways to have a bit more of a passive or regular or reliable income stream outside of advertising, because ad budget goes up and down and up and down, and it is a difficult wave to ride. We're in a cost of living crisis, and I live in London, which is an expensive city to live in. So just to exist in London costs probably 1,500, including bills and rent and food, just shopping, groceries, not even going out to eat, and the cost of the social life in London. So that's £1.5 grand already. So it's not cheap for me to exist. So making my income a bit more stable would be really good for me. So I'm just trying to figure out different ways of doing that and strategies around that, because I love this job, I love what I do, but the stability could be more stable. And that's one of the things I'm figuring out whilst I'm out here, without the distractions. That being said though, I really underestimated how much the hot weather makes me not want to work. There have been a lot of days, especially at the start, the first few days, which is fine. I am partially on holiday too, so it makes sense, but I'd work for maybe 2 hours in the morning, go out and sunbathe, come home, have a glass of wine, and then Netflix binge. So yeah, we've gotten back out of that. I've just been out, I've come back in. I wanted to go on Netflix, but we're filming this and I'm working on some writing. So yeah, we're getting better. So one of my elements of doing this month away was completely a failure. But yeah, part of it was to explore slow travel. So on Instagram earlier this year, I went away to Portugal for my mum's birthday. I got there by a coach, and I stopped off in Paris and Madrid on the way there. And it was so fun, I loved it, and it's a really good way of cutting down on your flights. I thought another way of cutting down on flights might be to do something like this, a long stay holiday. The idea being, if I'm away for 4 weeks at one point of the year, I won't go away the rest of the year. That will save on flights, and instead of going on 2 or 3 holidays, I go on 1 holiday, because I'll get enough sun and relaxation, and my tan will last, and whatever other reasons. It's definitely not worked out that way. Even before coming here, I've definitely got another holiday booked in August, and it's not that I want to go away again necessarily personally. It's just there's a group holiday that's come up that I'd quite like to go on. It's that sort of social thing, isn't it? It's oh, something's going on and you want to go. It's hard to miss out. That's Croatia, and I did actually consider going there by coach or taking a longer trip, maybe visiting another city nearby, but it's August and I would not normally choose to travel in August. It's just like school holidays. Everything's more expensive and busier, so I've not been able to expand that. But yeah, long-winded way of saying this is that one of my intentions with this holiday was to test out this as a slow travel hack, and you know what, I've still tested it out and I've come out and said it's not that great. It's glorious to do, but not in the name of slow travel, because most of us do have other social reasons for going on holiday, and it's hard to just limit it to one window of the year. And it's very not practical as well, like somewhat practical for me because I'm my own boss and I do this and I make silly videos online. I don't need to be in an office, but it does help to be in London, so it's not particularly practical. Basically, personally, I think this gets a thumbs down when it comes to a slow travel hack, whereas the coach travel, that was a thumbs up. I like that. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm on a low-key food detox as well, like pretty much no fake meat, just very back to basics vegan food. A lot of people online have just been wondering like, why Tenerife? I'll be honest, I was looking for an apartment all over Europe, generally in the warmer places. It was a big priority for me to be somewhere warm just because I love the sun, I love tanning, and it's something that I could just do forever and a lot of people couldn't. So if I do go on solo holiday, it is because I want to tan. Whereas if I want to like have adventures, be active, absorb some culture, there are people I can do that with that will enjoy it. But like my capacity for lying in the sun is more than most, so I can just do that day in day out, and I don't want to like bore someone else with that. I had a short list of places all over Europe and I kind of put them all into Google Maps and saw which ones were closest to a vegan restaurant, and this one is a 40-minute walk away from one. Not that I've even been yet, but it's just like the comfort of knowing it's there. And also like everywhere else I was looking at was kind of remote, like within my budget. They were remote places, which is probably for the best for me. Because I think if I was in like Valencia or Lisbon, I wouldn't have had so much downtime to work. I would have just been in like another version of London, just getting distracted all the time. So this works well for me. I like it here. It fits the aim and the purpose. Yeah, so I'm right by the beach, so I can go for a swim in the sea. I'm in like a gated community. I think a lot of it is like German expats. But yeah, it's just like private, wholesome, and it has that big ass pool. So I just kind of like go there and I can just like leave my stuff there. When I want to go to loo, I just carry my keys and my phone back and we're good, because I don't really love going to the beach alone. It does actually seem like quite a small town here. I don't feel particularly unsafe at the idea of leaving my belongings on the side, but the idea of taking my phone and leaving that on the side, just because this is like my life, it's like my work, my entertainment, it's just so much in one little thing. So I do get a bit nervous about that. So I'm out here for 4 weeks, and in the final week I have a friend coming along. So my friend Helena's gonna visit me, and that part of the trip will be more like holiday. It's still gonna be a bit worky though, because we're two content creators, and this is fine, this is good. We're gonna be like taking a lot of videos and being really cute and photos and stuff, which is just, it's fun to do. So I'm looking forward to that phase of the trip where we're just like having good bonding times and just enjoying the sun, and I have company again. I will say though, my Spanish is appalling. I took French at school, so I can speak quite a bit of French. It's just useless because I'm always in the Spanish islands because they're so hot. And of course you have the midlife crisis, or whatever you're meant to call it when you turn 30 and you have a little bit of a freak out. So I turned 30 a few months ago. Like, I would love it if this were the decade I could buy a house. It may not happen, but that would be nice. And generally where I'm sitting right now, I just, you know, I was born in London, I was raised in London, and if not London, within the M25, so pretty much London, extended London. That's where I see myself living. That is my life, that is my home, and that is extremely expensive. To be quite frank, it's a very particular way of life, and the only real time I took a break from it was when I was at uni and I went to Nottingham. There was a lot I loved about Nottingham, but to me it looks like a uni town to me now. I don't know. Whereas yeah, London, I just see it as my home, but I think I should challenge that idea, and that is one of the things I've done coming here. And I've kind of like chased what I love. So I know I love the sun, I love the beach, I love living a warm life. I'm like, well, maybe this is actually where I want to spend my life. We only get one life, and you know, you got to explore what you want to do. And maybe not like this specific place, but maybe I'll realize, oh, I love living in a hot country, or maybe I'll be like, I miss London. Right now, I think I still, you know, I want to live in London, that's it. But what I want and what I can afford are different things. So it's good for me to challenge it. I don't know if I'll really change my mind, but at least I know I've tried and I've considered other options, and it's just about like sitting down myself and being like, well, what did I love about living here? What did I not love about living here? And like, when my excuse is that I've got friends in London and I don't here, that's not really a good enough excuse, because you can make friends. But if it's just, you know, a bit more specific, like being close to family and the people you grew up with, and business-wise, it's just such a good place. But anyway, yeah, the whole thing is that I'm thinking about it. You know, I've turned 30, and one day in the next decade, I want my forever home, and I want to be very thoughtful about what that is. When you rent, you do get the opportunity to move around a lot, and one day when you buy, you don't really want to move house so much. And trust me, as someone who's rented throughout their whole 20s, I feel like I've already moved house enough for a lifetime. So yeah, that was definitely a big reason for wanting to do this. But yeah, sorry, on a brighter note, I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you kind of like got to know me a little bit better from it. Maybe it's gonna make you think about what your eat, pray, love sort of holiday would look like to you, and maybe it's something you can work towards. This has been a dream of mine for like 4 years, so it's not like I just decided a week before coming here that I was gonna do it. It is something that was here. So yeah, maybe I will do this once every 4 years. Maybe that's in my lifespan, I don't know. And to be honest, I'm doing this in 4 weeks whilst working. I think I could have done all like the mental journey and the reflection and all that in just 10 days if I decided not to work whilst out here. So I think it's fair to say I've done a diluted long trip where you could have a very concentrated short trip. It's not, it doesn't need to be 4 weeks, but I always work when I'm away. I just love filming when I'm on holiday, so it was gonna happen anyway. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon. I'm gonna film a what I ate in a week starting from tomorrow, so that'll be out soon. Okay, bye. Mwah.